Greetings, most honorable listeners and masters of the martial arts. I am Travis.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Big Los.
And this is CTE, and this is going to be an experience for you. We got to welcome somebody in here.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Super Fight League promoter, Mr. Murphy. What up, Murph?
What's up, guys? Hey, that's my part-time. That's the part-time. I'm still coach. I'm still coach. I'm still coach.
Coach Murph. That's right. That's key, right.
Yes, still coach.
Just gotta be more than one thing nowadays. You gotta do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you gotta tell everybody 18 different things. All right, but before we get started, as always, we start with music. I got some music for y'all. All right. Make sure y'all can hear it.
I would kick you in the neck, but he didn't give it back to me. So I kicked him square in the nuts, and he cried like Nancy Kerrigan.
Thank you so much for your patience.
Y'all knew I was gonna be. Y'all know.
Oh, I knew you were gonna be wild. Travis, I knew you were gonna be.
We'll stomp them in the nuts. We'll stomp them in the nuts. We'll stomp them in the nuts.
Oh.
We'll stomp them in the nuts.
Really? Damn. Yo, I said a joke in the school like 3 times today, man. That's not even funny.
That was. I mean, it was funny, but it wasn't funny, and then it was like. Anyway,
I'm glad it was the other person and not my boy.
I'm glad it wasn't also. That was just
right.
That was cringeworthy. But where we want to start? We want to start with this. I guess we can start there.
I was gonna say you already started with it. Like,
I guess I did kind of start there.
So before we get into weekends, we jumping right into it.
Yeah, let's go from the past.
Jump and spin right into it.
Yeah. So Bellator 245. Peter Staninik, I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yes.
Fought the real deal Raymond Daniels.
It's true.
And it ended in a no contest because of 2 jump spinning side kicks to the nuts. I mean, this.
Wait. I think the first one might not have been completely to the nuts. I think it was to the lower belly, which still bends you completely.
His heel hit thigh. The first one, I thought it was heel hit thigh. I thought the ball of his foot caught.
Yeah.
The second one was the one like I cried.
Right below your belly button before you get to the There's an actual pressure point right there.
Yeah.
So I think his heel hit that pressure point.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the length of his foot looked like he hit the actual groin itself.
Right. Yes. Right. Yeah. Okay. That's where I was at. Yeah.
So but ideally it's still below the belt.
Yes.
Right. It's still below the belt.
Is belly button the belt line? Is that where they draw the line?
I would say it's probably the waistline.
I would probably say the waist, wherever the top of the shorts are.
It was below the waist, I mean, for sure. But where he hit him at it wasn't the actual. The first one wasn't the actual.
The first one. That second one was just.
Well, if I was in his corner, I would have told him to do the same thing. I mean, he was vulnerable. He was already going, hit him again. I mean, but not in the nuts, of course. It was going to hit him. Throw the same technique again is what I meant. So I don't think he did nothing wrong. It's just that the guy must have stepped in really fast.
Well,
he came in with the kick.
Yeah. What was interesting about him is you could tell he literally watched the Nikki Hoskin fight because he was going to it to a T. Like he was standing trying to close the gap by pressuring him, just walking him down. And then whenever Ray would try and start to throw a spin or anything, he would back out. Right. And he would try and go after the legs. He was clearly doing the same thing Nikki was doing and trying to get Raymond to like gas out and so he can just start tagging him in the second and third round. But it didn't go that way. It didn't go that way. Number one. Number two, Ray's game plan was different because when Ray used to fight Nikki, when he fought Nikki, he was amped up. He was bouncing. He was a lot more. Ray was calm when he fought him. He was picking him apart with his hands and throwing his legs. So it was kind of interesting fight to watch. Yeah,
he even tried to take a couple of takedowns.
Yeah,
right. I think his game plan was a little different.
Yeah,
but he can switch it up at any time. I mean,
I think he looked at it from the standpoint of the guy had not been beaten in stand up, but MMA he had lost 4 times. So I think Ray thought, all right, I want to make sure this is a MMA fight, not a kickboxing fight, I'll have an easier time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe
it was the right guy. It was the right guy to try that.
Yeah.
You know?
He was coming up in weight a little bit. He was lighter. He weighed in lighter. So yeah.
The guy weighed in lighter?
Nuts.
Yeah.
What were y'all thoughts?
Like 166. Ow. I know how hard that kick is. Bro, I felt that kick. You know what I mean?
I think the whole world felt that kick.
I'm talking about like I felt him hit me with that kick multiple times in the ribs and in the stomach, and I know what that feels like. I couldn't imagine in no sense of the way what that would feel like with a cup on and direct shot.
How many people has he knocked out with that? And just imagine that. Oh my gosh.
Dropped. But prior to that, what did y'all think of the fight before the?
No, I thought Raymond was up. I thought he had a better opportunity. There was one point on the ground where he almost had his back, and then he had the sweep, and then got, you know what I mean? So, like, he switched it up and showed some good stuff. I mean,
I think his fight was better than the main event. Main event sucked.
I'm not gonna lie, I turned it. I was watching basketball.
He said he didn't watch any of it. He watched Raymond's fight. It was over, and he changed it.
Yep.
I pretty much did the same thing myself personally. So my thoughts on the fight was I thought Raymond at first wasn't using his speed at first. He was spinning too much, and the space wasn't what he needed. The space was in because the guy just kept coming into the space.
Right. Closing the gap.
Yeah. When Ray realized that he could beat him with the jab every time, I think that changed a lot. Like, you know what I mean? So then he started working his hands a little bit more hand combination and stuff like that. Again, I think the guy was just he was trying to just absorb as much as he could until he got close enough to Raymond, right? To do what, I don't know. But I felt that was my take on the fight. I thought Raymond at first didn't really use his skills, but then when he saw that he was just like way faster to the actual punch, like before the guy could even kind of react or move, Ray's already snapping his head back with the jab or whatever strike combination that he was doing.
His hands look good. His hands would look real good.
Yeah.
His hands look real good.
I think it spins. I think sometimes I do think he spins too much sometimes, and I think in that his space was off.
You went down again, Lo.
And I'm gonna keep this my mic on my computer, man. So
yeah.
It out. But so I just think that his space he wasn't understanding his space enough. And the guy kept crowding the space. So, like, even when Ray hit people that spinning back, the guy was kind of absorbing a couple of them. So I think when he was absorbing a couple of them, he kind of felt himself getting stronger, and he can kind of walk through it.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I was kind of saying myself personally.
I think he was trying to make it into a phone booth fight, trying to get inside.
Definitely didn't want to be anywhere on the outside. Yeah,
he's not as skillful as Nicky was though. Like, you mean,
no, he's not.
When Nicky got close up to Remy, he had more tactical stuff. You know? So
yeah.
As far as they ever say anything about the guy? Like, did he die? I don't know.
Nah, he only had a contusion. He had a contusion.
Listen,
he's all right. It's not. It's
I don't know
nothing.
I don't know if y'all seen Ray's Instagram page though, man. But it's like all these like.
Nah, don't do it. Don't do it.
Listen, man. I was trying not to get irritated, but it's just irritating to hear how people just like, yo, it's some straight trolls.
It's super.
Like, people ain't got nothing better, they are, man. Like,
I have not looked.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. What were they saying? Like, I mean, well, just in general, they just went to every post, or they just were.
So in his Instagram, like, it was just people just random people just coming in. Did he make a
post, or they just went to old post and do it?
No, he made a post. Yeah, he made a post
on it. Yeah.
Okay.
People were saying he did it intentional.
Yeah, bro. It was some straight trolling. It was bad.
It was, but it's like you can see it was the people that was just waiting for their moment. You mean that moment to kind of throw the shade or throw the shots or whatever, like, you mean, because everything else was like a highlight, or you couldn't really say much off of it. You know what I'm saying? So now he has a moment where, you know, this happens with Mr. Guy Low. Now it's like everybody want to come out. Not everybody. People we don't even know. It's just people behind the computer.
Come on, all you guys have been on top, and you guys know that that's the way it is. You're always gonna have people waiting for you to do one thing wrong, or not even wrong, because he didn't do anything wrong, but just whatever, made a mistake or whatever.
Right.
You know, to they're ready. They've been ready for years to do something like that.
The pound sign. Yeah.
It is what it is. It's part of, you know.
I know that's not how you want it to go out. Like,
Sucks,
you know what I mean? We all know that. That's not how he wanted to go out and
no,
it happened.
No, never.
So.
I've been there. We've been there together. I think, you know, at one point in 2009, we were all together. Chris, Lowe's, me, Leo, all of us together in the same squad. And Raymond Daniels he's the best ever. Plain and simple.
Question. It has to be asked. Do you think the quarantine hurt his training, and that's why his jumps, turn sidekicks weren't as on point like they usually are?
I would say absolutely. I think because it wasn't the comfort level of just the training. And I don't want to say like your training should be comfortable, but there's a lot. He's a school owner too,
right?
I mean, he's there's a lot more than just training for the fight. And I mean, then all of a sudden when you tell him he's got to fight, now he's got to try to hit that switch. And then how is he training? What is he training? You mean what is the distance? You know, I think absolutely, without a doubt, I think it did have something to do with it. As far as his timing and some of the things that he would naturally do probably more comfortably and more easily, he hasn't really been able to do because he hasn't really been able to really train until they got clearance to be able to train.
Right.
So you figure 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe, where he usually have 8 weeks.
It was something. I don't know.
Training in the dojo.
I just remember when they made the post. It was like a joint post with him and 3 other guys.
Yeah.
And they were saying, they basically said, hey, we're training. We got to fight on September 11th, blah, blah, blah. And the other one, I think the other one had September 12th.
Yeah. He won.
He won. Okay. Yeah. So they were talking about that. So I was like, okay, all right. But I didn't know. I honestly, because I remember I thought that he looked different in the weigh-in. Because when I saw him, when usually he looks proportionate. For some reason, his arms just looked skinny to me. Something about it.
He looked really fit.
Maybe he lost weight.
He looked really fit. I thought he looked really fit.
I think he maybe did that. He lost weight in like at the last minute just to drop because he was like 169.7 just to get up under there.
Yeah.
And I think that goes to his preparation for the fight. It being maybe short notice, him not ready, or being in the quarantine, whatever it was, he just didn't look the same. And then when I saw him fight, I was looking at his kicks and I was like, all right, they're not hitting right now. But I saw him working his hands. I said, his hand's still there. So he can win this fight, dealing with his hands. With his.
If he would have honestly stuck with that, he would have still won the fight. Like, you mean, like, because his snap on his punches was like, it was like the guy. So he was hitting the guy in the guy's thought, right?
Yeah.
So if someone's trying to do something to you, you hit them in their thought. That kind of disrupts that thought of what they want to do, right?
Right.
So he was catching
hesitation.
Yeah, he was catching them in the thought, which was great. But when he threw the spins, it kind of threw him off a little bit. And it gave the guy that opportunity to close more distance, things like that. So absolutely, I believe that. I was just talking to somebody about it today. I definitely think that had a part of it for sure.
Go ahead, Chris. Make some noise. Go ahead.
I mean, kind of low.
What did you think I was gonna say?
What
did you think I was gonna say?
Nah, you didn't say it, so I'm not gonna bother.
I know what you was gonna say.
What?
You think you're too old?
No, honestly,
you think Father
I didn't
Time
know.
is catching up with him?
That was gonna be my next question. Did y'all think he was getting old?
Chris, I know what he was gonna say.
That's what he was gonna say. That's
honestly,
exactly what he was gonna say.
The first thought I had was it was the quarantine. Not necessarily that he was getting old. It was just more so the quarantine that he just didn't have. I think the quarantine may hurt him from the standpoint of it's harder to get back into shape when you get older, because usually he's just a training machine. Like, you know what I mean? It just is what it is.
Right.
Once you had that layoff in time trying to come back, your body like, hey. So I don't know what's going forward, but
hey, 40 is 40, man.
It is. 40 is 40.
He's still a different beast than everybody else.
Exactly. I got
him at 40. Yeah.
Somebody's 40 is not his 40.
Nah.
But does it get to you?
A little bit. It has to. At some point.
I don't care if you're lying if you don't say it. You're lying if Carlos was not the same now. That's when he was, 6-7 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Killing everybody.
I'll still hit you, but I'm not.
It's gonna be 1 or 2.
Like, listen, I was in California. I was in California. I competed, and I wanted to compete. And I hit a dude with a kick. I was like, "Oh snap! That's like the old levels."
now you get happy when you do it.
Yeah, I'm all excited. Like, "Oh snap! I kicked him in the head. Watch out!" Yeah. I ain't doing that no more.
All right. So, Chris, give us a recap of what else happened at Bellator 245.
Honestly, that's all I watched too. I peeked in and watched a little bit of it. I mean, I could go on something and read the stats, but like,
terrible fight. Terrible.
It was. John Fitch got heel hooked / knee barred, and that was kind of dope.
Who?
John Fitch, formerly of the most boring fighter in the whole world in the UFC. He was on like a 12 or 13 fight win streak, and they wouldn't give him a title fight because he was boring. He like take you down and lay on you and wrestle you a little bit and pass and wrestle you and lay there. He was one of the most boring fighters ever. So they let him go as soon as he lost. And he fought and he got like, dude hit him with a heel hook, which is like where you turn inside heel and then straighten him out. So it straightened out his knee as well. So it was all bad. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So
that last fight sucked. That's all you got to say. I think Raymond would have came back from the locker room and beat them both up. So
who won the fight? It was Lachita Davis, right? Who won that fight?
Davis won on a split decision this time.
Say no more.
But it was boring.
Yeah,
I bet. I mean, come on. I flipped back and forth, but it was like not really good.
No. That was good.
Cool.
What?
All right. You got anything else to say about Bellator?
No, I'm good. They had a card on Saturday too, but I didn't watch that either, to be honest.
All right.
UFC had a fight too, right?
Saturday.
Yeah, Michelle Watterson and Angela Hill. That was a pretty good fight. I watched that one on Saturday. That was a pretty good fight. That was the only one.
Right?
The karate hottie.
Yeah, karate hottie. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Michelle Watterson. She.
What's happening?
I thought that was your name, Chris.
No,
the karate hottie.
Absolutely not. No, Michelle Watterson. She's a young Asian lady. She does taekwondo, so she throws a lot of like side kicks and hook kicks and stuff. She's pretty good. She won on a split decision.
All right then.
Yeah, I was never a big. I've never been the biggest fan of MMA.
Right.
I actually started liking it a little more when Leo wanted to do it.
Right.
You know, and then I had no other choice but to like it a little.
Right.
I'm not the biggest fan of it. I like boxing, but it is what it is.
There's certain fights that I watch now. I used to be a big fan, but now it's just
I see it a little more now, but never. You know, I went in one time to MMA Masters, which is you guys. There's a bunch of them that compete at UFC from them, and that's where Leo was at, and they wanted me to come in and show him how to throw a round kick because you know MMA fighters don't know how to kick, you know.
Most of them don't know how to strike really. Like, to be honest, they don't have clean. Some of them who've transitioned from boxing to MMA have clean hands, but a lot of them, you know, most of them don't have clean striking.
I feel like I haven't, and again, I'm not knocking them for what they do. I feel like I haven't seen a true all-around solid fighter in a long time. Like, just all around striking, grappling, just all around just solid. Like, you know what I mean? In a long time.
Who would you say that was the last one that you saw?
Probably Anderson Silva. I think he was probably, in my eyes, probably one of the better all-around fighters.
You talk about one of the goats, though. Like,
yeah, but okay,
well,
I don't see him as the same as St. Pierre. St. Pierre's considered a goat or like a legend of that level. Like, you know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Probably, honestly, maybe Conor McGregor probably was a little like good stand-up, good striker to a certain degree. But the dude, the Russian dude, what's his name? Khabib or whatever his name?
Yeah.
He's a wrestler. He's a wrestler. He's a real like striker stand-up guy. Like, you know what I mean?
These guys are mostly MMA fighters that learn how to fight. You know.
Now that's exactly what I was going to say. They don't learn a discipline. They learn a little bit of everything, or they'll get a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and they'll do some Muay Thai stuff. Yeah. But they're not specific and super precise in any one discipline, unless they're a wrestler and they came in from wrestling and that's what they do. They're a grappler and they come from grappling and that's what they do, or they're a hard hitter.
Y'all forget about the greatest striker of all time, aka Miss Ronda Rousey.
Man, I don't know,
Travis. When I see you next, listen, I owe you a right
the best pound ever.
Nah, you talking about
this? Amanda Nunes now.
Listen,
Amanda.
I like her.
No.
You know what? I'll tell you. Here is
the women fighting is more exciting than the men's for me.
Valentina. She is what you don't see in men fighting. She is solid. She is all around fighter. Like, she dope. Like, I like Amanda Nunes, but I think she beat Amanda Nunes the first fight. Second fight could have went either way, but she dope. She the one that, like, when I'm looking for the guys fight, that's the type of guy I'm looking for. That fight like her.
No, I ain't disagreeing with you. She's an outstanding fighter. Like I said, I actually prefer to watch most of the ladies' fights because they're scrappier. They fight harder. They're to be honest with you, they're tougher fighters when you look at it, because the guys have more of a shot to knock you out in one punch or one kick. The women, you don't really see that, with the exception of a few of them who rock you and it'll be over. So you're going to see a better fight. I think.
Started liking a little more when Leo more of a.
Still not going. Still gonna let me go there, Los. All right. Let's move on.
Wait, hold on. Johnny's watching. He said Murphy owing 50 push-ups. What's up with that, Murph? Why are you on push-ups?
Oh man, I'm not even looking at the comments. My bad.
Whatever he says, I do.
Yeah, he said Murphy lost
a bet at Twin Towers.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I'm so old I don't remember though. I haven't been in New York for like 10 years.
Yeah. Hold up. Tell us the bet. If Johnny on, that's a good thing when Johnny on to come.
Might have been when we did teams against.
Oh, you bet Johnny was gonna beat him?
Okay.
No. That's it. Had that conversation.
I have no clue what just happened there, but I'm assuming he'll be back.
Johnny said, "I do." What you said? What happened, Johnny? What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
Dang, do I gotta send Johnny the link?
You might. He said we had a team fighting.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and send it, Chris, so he can tell us when. I don't know when Murph's coming back on, but he'll be on soon enough.
Murph got his fights coming up too, right?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about next. That's what I was getting ready to go to.
Y'all just sent it.
His phone died.
Man, I got scared of Johnny. Nah, actually.
Let's just invite him in.
Did he still running from that 50?
Oh man.
But yeah, all right. So he said it was team fighting. That's what.
I think it was New York versus Velocity or something. A few years back, and forgot what the last tournament was. I think Jesse did it with whatever the older guy from New York. They used to host the tournament.
Lee Ireland.
Twin
Towers. Yeah.
That was a nice event. I haven't been there in a while.
Said you owe him 50.
It's 50. Wow.
I'll send him a check.
Johnny turned it into 50. like yo, he turned it into 50. I'm like, yo, I need my money. I need my push-ups.
Oh man.
All right, let's get into what happened in this weekend though. The Super Fight League. What we got going on down there, Murph?
All right, I started the whole super fights, man. I know that I did it in New York a couple of times. When NASCAR started the whole, remember the super fights, and now it turned into open weight, just another way of you spending more money.
Yeah.
The super fights used to be you had to hit hard. They had the solid fighting, the fall down, get out of bounds. But it was good stuff, and now it just turned into another open weight division. So I kept it going, and I did it a bunch of times. Back in the day, I used to do it all the time. I don't know if you saw Chris and Manny's fight in my tournament.
Yeah, that's Trev. Yeah, we just talked about that. The full contact fight out of nowhere.
That was crazy. That was crazy. But I did it. I used to have in my karate school years ago.
Yeah.
I used to have a boxing ring, right? Mm-hmm. And man, I was like, how do I make some money? So I used to put like 200 seats in there, and Jeremy was saying about it. Should we say this? I'm like, yeah, man, I don't care. It was before, and man, we used to just sell the seats and get fights, and we just fight, and the whole super fight thing started, and I'm just keeping it going, where you have to hit solid, and and just different rules, just not another boring tournament.
So it is a tournament. It's not like set fights.
It is set fights. It's not a tournament. It's set fights. It's a nighttime. You come nicely dressed, and you come out with the music on and all that other stuff,
Yeah.
Now, is this in conjunction with a tournament, or is it just its own?
No, this one I'm just doing the night of the tournament, since the place I partner with Jeremy, of course. You guys know, me and Jeremy. So he said, okay, there's nothing else to do at night. I go, let's do it there, but it still has nothing to do with the tournament. But we will have the finals of the overall grands. We're going to put it there. That's the only thing that has to do with the tournament. Everything else is set fights.
So what does a set fight look like? Like, how does that?
Set fight. I call you up. I say, Carlos, you want to fight Plowden? Okay, let's set you guys up. Let's go.
But like, do you have rounds?
Yes.
Rules.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. Yeah, I'm sorry.
In super fights, because I have different things. We got different rules. They all have to be solid technique, falling out on the ground and out of bounds. You guys, have done that before. Other rules we have is like in super fights, it's 2 rounds. 2 rounds. The only time you can take a timeout is during the middle of the while you're resting for the second round.
Right.
Okay. And total points. You have to win by 2 points.
How many minutes is a round?
It's 2 minutes. And everything is 1 point, no matter what.
Everything is 1 point.
Yeah, I did it.
Hook stick you in the head. That's 1 point.
It's 1 point.
All right.
I don't know. Some people love it. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I personally love it. I did it in New York the last time we went, and it was just a little. It was a little different. But people loved it. People loved it.
So when was the last time you had your super fight show?
About a month and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who are the fighters you have on this card coming up?
We don't have a lot. We have about 13 set fights, and then we have, because we wanted to add something different, and we added a 4-team, 2-person team fighting.
Wait,
now,
I'm sorry. Did you say you don't have a lot of fights, but you have 13 set fights?
I was thinking the same thing.
I had 19
in the division at a regular karate tournament. Like
I had 19 in the last one. I had 19 in the last one. So
how long did it go?
It was only about 3 hours. We run an awesome show. Back, boom, boom, boom. Let's go. The other comes out with the music and this and that, and it's pretty cool. We have some continuous fights, and in the continuous fights is 2 out of 3 rounds. And stuff like that. I mean, you can hit hard in this one. You don't have to wear a face mask. Actually, 18 plus does not have to wear a headgear. In the team fight, if it's 2-person team fight, you got to fight 2 rounds. That means
the team fights 2 rounds, or each person fights 2
each
rounds?
person, which is 2 rounds.
So you got to fight both people.
You have to fight both people.
People fight both people.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, which people again people say like, man, that's pretty cool. It's just different things. But yeah, what else do we have? In 3-man team fighting, you fight 2 rounds also, and then you switch fighters. But you can only switch it twice. You come back and do it again. I got that a little bit from like WCL and stuff. I used to fight, then come back, and then come back a second round.
The second half.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
so
it's
like 2 halves.
Yeah, it's like two for the 3-man, and then for the 2-man,
and then okay, so you can swap up.
Right, and then for the 2-man, I think for 2-man team fighting, it's so awesome. You're not gonna just one for person. You gotta fight both fighters, so your strategy is a little different. You know, I don't know if you want to put your best fighter first and then put him second in the second round, or or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
So so they gotta fight. They gotta fight. So we got 4 fighters, 4 teams. We are waiting on we are waiting on the 4th team to confirm. But right now we have Obeda and Devin. They're going to be Team Dojo. We have Henry Ruiz and Ibrahim.
Okay.
And they're going to match up as a dojo team, as a school team. Right. They were trained together. Yeah. And then we have Legend, which they by tonight they were supposed to tell me exactly the names of their fighters. And we are confirming on.
You took you answered the question I was going to ask. Like, so do you have any fighters that we would know? And you definitely started naming some people that we absolutely know. So that's cool.
Yeah, Chris, Albeda and Devin are Team Dojo.
Right.
Well, they're going to be called. I think that's what they send me. That's what they send me as a name. I don't know.
I don't want to be the person breaking news on here about they've got
Mr.
on Dojo now. But I'm just curious.
Mr. Conspiracy. Wait.
If you say that,
his ears was like, what? Wait a minute. Did I hear that?
I heard where he was going, and he said, so Chris, Obeda and Devin are. I was like, oh man, he's going to ask.
Devin's up here. He's on Dojo.
Right.
And
I think they just maybe Dojo sponsored the team or something. I think that's what it is. I mean, I haven't heard any news from
maybe they let it be known.
Don't try to back out of it now, Murray. You gotta put it out there.
Hey, it is what it is. That's on them, bro.
Hey, I'm just curious. I want to be clear about who's on where and what's going on.
Travis, the Conspiracy King.
Yeah, man. So always. between the about 13 fights, we got about 4 continuous fights. We got a couple of junior fights. We have the team fight. Then we're gonna put the finals of the overall. So in the finals of the overall, we got the winner of the rookie division, the 18 to 20, and lightweight. They'll run off in the daytime, and then we're gonna put the final 4 at nighttime. Means the winner of that versus the middleweight, and then the heavyweight versus the 30 plus for overall grants. We're gonna put that in the show too.
So there is a tournament during the day.
Yes. The Mayan Challenge. It's Mayan Challenge.
Oh, okay.
That's Jeremy's event. Yeah.
Yeah, that's his final event. Normally, we don't know.
That's usually the year-end event.
It's a real good event. A lot of teams come up with stuff. Yeah.
I went last year. Yeah, it was good.
Do they usually have it in September?
Mm-hmm.
More or less, yes. September,
later.
It's in Daytona Beach. Beach, which is a good place. Nice. The hotel, nice hotel at the Plaza Resort. And nice, only $99, and you're right there at the beach.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So how are these events as far as spectator wise? Like as far as
I was the first one to do one of these 2 months ago when everybody told me not to, and I had about 225 spectators.
That's phenomenal.
Yes.
And this one, unfortunately, they're only giving us space for 150 seats. That's what the hotel is giving me. So I got 6 ringside seats left, and about maybe 30 of the reserve, and that's it.
That's awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah. Good stuff.
So, how are you distancing people as far as the layout goes?
The hotel's going to help us, but 150 seats is not going to be too bad. We're going to put probably rows of 6 or something. Going to play it by ear there. I did a good job in the last one, and people were happy. People were happy. You definitely got to space them out and stuff by families and stuff. But everybody was happy in the last one, and people are excited. On Friday night we have Face Off, which is pretty cool, especially for the kids, because the good thing about this is we have everybody from the pros to 8 and 9 year old, they wanted to do a set fight, so they get their chance on Friday. They get to meet each other, and there's no weigh-in, so they get to take a picture against each other, kind of like their chance to shine, like like if they were a pro MMA fighter or kickboxer or something, So,
that's cool. So out of your fighters, the 13 fights that you have, how many are actual adult fights?
We have 2 guys that are fighting continuous fighting, Julio Arias and some kid from Miami from Joannon School, Chris Stevens. We have I don't have it. We have a couple of we have like 2 or 3. I don't remember the names right now. I really don't have it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was brought in.
You guys, is it gonna be like a stream for it? Huh? Or is it gonna be like a stream for it, or is it?
Yeah. Alex will be there. Alex will be there with the whole thing. With Point Fighter Live. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm still ready for one more at the end of the year.
So this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time Devin's fighting again?
Yes, since his knee injury, right?
Tooth.
Yeah,
tooth.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years now, right? Almost. It's September.
Yeah. Ocean State.
Yeah, like Ocean State
19.
last year, right?
19.
Yeah. So that's what, April?
Year and a half. Yeah.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. I think little by little, what I want to do is I want to try to get some sponsors and maybe get some, bigger names out there and do it. But these shows are you can have them the same night as a tournament. You can have them the next day on a Sunday. It's just a whole different thing than a tournament.
If you selling your shows out with what you got, you ain't gotta worry about no big names.
I don't care. The kids, spotlighting a lot of the kids, and I put a little poster. I put a little poster of them, and
you
stuff
do
like that.
You do everything from like black belt. You have underbelt fights, kids. All continuous. You kind of
we got
an all around show. So
listen,
we have a couple of junior black belts. We got a kid from Joe Rhodes, I think his name is, from Team Heartland or something.
Yeah.
Against one of Kendall from Jeremy School. We have a couple of good ones.
That'll be a fun fight. That'll be a good fight.
We have a few. I just can't remember some of them right now. So yeah, we got some team fighting. We got a team. Oh, we have a team legend versus Velocity. A 30 plus one.
Yeah, that'll be a good team fight.
Yeah, that one we're gonna give a prize money to the winner. So
is that the 2-round 3-man team fight?
3-man team fight. We're only doing 1 round on that one.
Okay.
Because we're doing it different.
I was just asking.
30 plus. We got the OG status. We get
no.
And we moving on.
For the reason that we're doing age. We're doing the whole
30,
age
40,
bracket,
50.
30, 40, 50. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Wait, all right. My bad.
Not to make them go out there. I gotta fight the 30-year-old now.
Hold on now, whippersnapper.
Hey, so what do you guys think when these guys got to come back for a second round?
I like that.
Different.
So when you fight 3, you fight the first 3, and then you got to come back.
I'm talking about for the 2-man. For the 2-man.
Oh,
for the 2-man team fighting.
The Superman
they got to fight the upper.
The super fight. Yeah, I think that's cool. I like that setup because you can't. It's only 2 people, so you can't hide behind one fight. Rack up a lot of points and then run, or you know what I mean.
Well, it's going to be interesting in this standpoint. I'll say this. Let's say you got the first 2 fights, right? The third fight is going to be the interesting fight because somebody has to turn around and fight back to back.
Right.
You talk about for the 3-man.
No, 2-man.
2-man. So
for
like,
2-man, yeah.
So if all 4
one of the 2 has to fight,
Chris versus you and Murph and Carlos. If I fight Carlos first, and then that means Chris and Murph fight. So whoever the next fight after that is, that means I have to fight Murphy, and Chris has to fight Carlos. Right. Somebody has to fight back to back.
Yeah, somebody fight back to back.
Yeah,
but also you need to find out if you want to put your I guess your anchor. Do you want to put him to go first in the first round or
first and last, or do you want him to go back to back? Yeah, it depends on how you guys strategy.
But then if you want to get if you put your best fighter second in the first round, he's got to go first in the second round.
Well,
just so you guys know, y'all just really confused me.
I know. I watched your face. I watched your face go.
Right. So like, if me and
like you're doing a calculus problem, like
it's like me and Chris are out of it. I gotta fight you, and I have to fight Murphy.
No, I get it. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. I gotta fight Los, and then I gotta fight Murphy.
Out, you basically control that third fight because I would be looking at it from the standpoint of if a coach, who I want to control the first fight. Person, I would be throwing out the person who just was resting on my team, not the person who got out the ring.
Right.
So to make
that might not be your best fighter though. That might not be your best setup. So you want to me? I've done a couple of coaching in my life. I'll play the second round a little different than the first round. Meaning my first round, I'll probably put out not my worst fighter. You said your top fighter. Make sure that he goes last in the second round.
Yeah.
So I'll probably throw him out first. I'll throw him out first.
And that's if you get the coin.
True. So, that's if you get the coin toss. So otherwise, your quote unquote best fighter will have to be the third fight. He had to go second and third back to back or whatever. That's going to be interesting.
But tell me, it's a little different. It's pretty cool.
I like that. Somebody got that cardio.
That's what I was asking. They're used to. Everybody's used to going that one round and then resting, and I want to see how it happens when.
Mama Walker got it, Los.
Yeah, I know. Mama Walker always got it. Mama Walker, but I guarantee you, she was kind of like bouncing back and forth too. Like, okay, I got it.
Oh, I got it.
I got it. There it is, Los. Don't worry, me and you, we got it.
All right.
Mama Walker. I remember. She yelled at all of us in Atlanta about 10 years ago. She just got everybody in the room and just. We weren't doing nothing right, but
we weren't doing nothing right.
Clearly, it's like I had enough of this. Yeah, like
he didn't say we wasn't doing nothing wrong. He said we wasn't doing
nothing right.
Well, I told you I'm honest.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna step back from that. That was good.
All right, and it's this Saturday. What time, Murph?
Fight start. The event starts at 6:45. We got that tournament in the morning, and Jeremy does a good job with those tournaments, man. So I'm sure he'll be done probably like 4:00. And get ready for that show. Like I said, we only have a few seats left. Because we were able to get only 150 seats. That's what they want, people in there, and maybe about 10, 15 staff members. That's it.
That's what's up.
Another cool thing about super fights is we have a fourth judge, right? And I don't know if Chris remember, we have a fourth judge that's looking at the time the whole time.
Yep.
And he's the only one that can. He acts like the arbitrator at that moment for that fight, and then we rotate him. The judges rotate. One becomes like that. And he's the only one that can say, no, add 3 seconds, or, oh, that's the wrong score, or whatever,
Right.
So it's just a few different rules make it a little different, It's a little different.
Yeah. No, that's great.
And I've always liked the rotating of the judges because that means you have to be good at all positions. You can't just sit and be in a corner and just kind of like wait back.
And only fighters.
Right.
I don't know if you guys saw that I put that on. Since the first one I ever did, I try to get only fighters. No disrespect for anybody. So either a former fighter or just your fighting mentality. I think it's a little different than a guy that never ever stepped in a ring.
Yeah.
I just think your eyes are different. You can't. I know you guys get it. I'm just saying. So either a former fighter or a current fighter, or guys like Jeremy and Ramon de la Cruz, and any of you guys will come, like that. But I just don't want a guy that just can't see it. Points are too fast. Points are too fast for some of us, to see nowadays. Even when you're looking at a video, people are fast.
Yeah. But if it's a super fight, it's got to be clean. It can't just be fast.
Clean.
You got to smack a little. You got to put a little something on it.
It's got to be what it's supposed to be. It can't be what it's supposed to look like. It's got to be what it's supposed to be.
Exactly. You can throw a back. You can throw a back fist and hit. You can throw a back fist and hit it, and they might not call it.
Right.
If maybe you would step into the side, or You know, ain't none of those.
Maybe your glove wasn't all the way on.
Yeah, but no dive bomb or none of that other
and it
stuff.
fell off, and it went like a bow.
Yeah.
So
no, none of that Johnny tension blitz or you know. Ooh. I needed one.
Johnny, you heard that?
Fired.
He about to get you, Murph.
Yep.
He about to get you, Murph.
It is what it is. I'm gonna hang up anyway in a little while. I love that guy, bro. That guy's amazing. He's changed the sport.
100%.
You know.
All right.
No,
we got anything else for Murph?
Nah, man. Nah. Thank you guys for having me. And tune in, and you know it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man.
All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. All right.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Murph.
All right, brother.
See you later. All right. Where we want to go next, guys?
I just want to say first, I want to say, like, I've always liked that guy.
Yeah.
He's always seemed like a really cool, like, always like a cool, like, genuine dude. Like you say, he's honest, but he's always been, like, real, just like a cool
straightforward.
Dude.
He's a Miami version of like Greenhall.
Yeah.
I love Murphy.
Not as boisterous as Greenhall.
Well, no, because he don't go over the top unless it's absolutely necessary. But when it goes over the top, it blows up.
Yeah.
But I've known Murphy since I was a kid. You know what I mean. He's
a good dude.
Like Murphy, that's family. I was on Velocity with him, like that.
Yeah.
Good dude. I'm interested in seeing it. All right, so what we got? Where we want to go next? We want to go.
Let's go to these fights. Then
you want to go jump from virtual to virtual? You want to go from super fights to virtual fights? Let's get it.
All right, we're going to virtual fight tour.
Let's get it.
Let's see.
How you gonna pull it up? What you gonna?
I'm trying to think. I think let's start with the virtual fight tour 2, the one that comes up next weekend.
5 fights, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is up to 5 fights. Yep, I got first fight would be
all.
Emma Cullinan. I want to say Sabrine, maybe. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yes.
Darren Payne, Romani Alicia. Then we have El Java Abdul Kadir versus Yaskar. Is it Games?
Where are they fighting at? Where are those two fighting at?
I think they're going to be in New York. I think all of them are going to be in New York, to be honest.
New York. I think they're all going to be in New York.
Yeah. Jesse doesn't announce where it's going to be until Yeah, but
it's gonna be on Fight.
I really like that setup. So I mean, we don't know though. We're just speculating.
Okay. We got Anthony Merricks versus Brandon Ballou, and then we have Bailey Murphy versus Jack Felton. I like this lineup, bro. I like this lineup of fights.
Man, this is good. We get a little bit of everything we wanted.
Yeah. Where we want to talk about? Where we want to start with this one?
We might as well start from the bottom. Let's go in order. We'll go Emma and Sabia. Not really on my radar, but for both the juniors. Apparently, Emma's on Next Level. She's from Boston, and Sabia is from Keith McKinley's out of Philly. Yeah. So I mean, she's probably gonna kick. I was just gonna say she's probably gonna kick and have like a hard reverse punch right after it. I mean that would be my guess from the style. What I might have seen from Philly.
Yeah.
And I don't really see a lot from Boston, so it depends on who she goes and where she goes.
This fight.
I'm very interested.
I think they're both 16. I think.
Yeah, this is the fight you know nothing about.
Exactly.
That's why you're interested in this fight. I already knew where you were going.
That time where I'm like, I start paying attention to people who are fighters at 16. And I'm like, all right, let's see, because they got about 2 years. Let me just see a little something and see,
see if there's any flashes, and then see if they stick around. Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, it's like, to me, 16, 17-year-old is like the college ranks in basketball, or college in football. That's where you start paying attention to people who are about to come out and go to the pros. So, sure. Got anything else on this one? Los, have you seen either one of them? Just gonna sit there and nod your head. All right.
Los got nothing. All right.
So let's go on to Darren Payne and Romani.
And Romani. Okay, this is the newest fight added. We talked.
Yes.
Did y'all talk about this on the main gang on Thursday? I missed it. Sorry, I was. Okay.
We did not.
Listen. Or was that announced Friday or whenever it was announced?
I think
he announced it Thursday. Right on. Yeah.
I think we mentioned it.
I remember
we didn't dive into it
because I had messaged you in the group.
Yeah,
I messaged the group.
Wait.
So you maybe I messaged you personally.
You know what happened? I hinted at who Darren was going to fight. I didn't actually say who he was going to fight. I just left it out there. I did a Chris and just left it out there and kind of.
Wait, so you knew already who was going to fight?
I knew who was going to fight. I wanted Jesse to be able to be the person to announce it.
Exactly.
And I was like,
that's
you know what?
why I
don't
say nothing. I appreciate it. See,
so I said, I'm not. I don't just
Mike
tell
Bates?
everything, people. I don't tell everything I know. I hold back on some stuff.
So you could never get mad at Chris again when Chris has information that he's standing on the fence on and he's not saying anything about. And then all of a sudden when he said, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I knew that. I knew that."
Well, no, I would do what I did before. I'm like, yo, I think it's gonna be somebody here.
What do you think?
What do you think? I named about 4 people.
Thinking one of them's gonna be
one
it.
Right?
You think it's so and so.
Yeah.
So how did this fight come about? The Darren and Romani, is that his name?
Yes, Romani.
That's the kid that fought. He just fought at the battle, right?
Correct.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, he was one of the ones who fought the battle. He was in the open weight finals against
open weight with Bailey. He made it out of the other side of the bracket for open weight, and he fought with him in teams.
Yeah,
that fought lump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That was really my first time actually paying attention. Really, I've been seeing his name pop up a lot lately.
Right.
So I actually paid attention and was just watching to see the kid fight. And he looked good. You know, I mean, he looked good. He was in there fighting. I was like, all right, I want to see more.
Ta-da!
Yeah, and this fight came about. I can't remember, how did this fight come out? It wasn't like somebody called the other one out, was it?
No, I don't think so.
No, because
that wasn't this recall.
Yo, we're gonna have to talk about that Tyson thing. We are gonna have to talk about that Tyson.
I already knew we were going there, but I was gonna try to get through the card first. Maybe talk about the other card, and then we talk about what fights fell through. I thought we were going to go all the way through. Come on, Trav. We got to stay on track here. We got a list, bullet points.
No, I don't want to stay on track on this one. I want to get off track on this one.
You just remembered it. And it was
it just hit me. It just hit me, and I'm like, before I forget about this, you can't call somebody out and then run away. Like, no. I'm not going to do. I get why you said, but it never should have been called out in the first place.
That was my
if the 14 days of being quarantined coming down there is a thing, why are you calling people out? You know what I mean? Like, that's something that if you know you can't do the fight,
don't say that you're gonna do the fight.
Don't say, yeah, let's do the fight.
Right. And I don't know these people, and I don't know who they are, and I know nothing about them. But
evidently they're from Canada. That's all I know. I don't pay attention to junior, so I don't really know that much.
All right.
But I'm just saying that. In any situation,
if
you call somebody out, you got to be ready to fight. It's just that simple.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
You can't. you just can't. Like, you know what I mean?
I disagree. I just said that.
Elaborate.
I want to see what your response was going to be. That was actually perfect. You both was kind of.
I was like, what?
You listen.
Do tell, Los. Do tell.
What?
I don't know.
You know what?
I was going like my surprise was like, what? Hold on.
I'm just joking. I agree totally. I feel that.
Jeff, I agree. Teenagers,
but still, I don't care.
And I mean, even on a little bit, I give the kid a pass.
Right.
But adults should know better.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like the adults was the one that was kind of negotiating the deal.
Right.
But that's who was kind of going back and forth with Jesse, like a parent or somebody that was kind of
and that's where I was like, wait, come on now. Like no. You
so who has the quarantine?
If the Canadians drive across,
if you're in Canada, if you live in Canada and you come to America, then when you come back, you have to be
14 days.
14 days.
Period.
You're a teenager. What are you doing? Online classes? Like yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, exactly.
You're already sitting in front of the computer already. He ain't doing nothing.
Right. Now you can't. Now you got to order. Now you got to order takeout to come in. You can't go out and eat.
Yeah, maybe his parents got a quarantine too because he can't just come.
No, I think I probably because he's a minor, he can't drive across the border by himself. Because I know I don't think they're flying.
I thought Jay said something like they'll go up there though. Like Jay said,
he said that. He did say that we'll travel up there, and for some reason, it still wasn't made.
So that goes to tell you it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't call somebody out and then it's like, all right, let's go.
I'm gonna say there's probably only 2 fighters that would call somebody out that's from Canada. I would kind of say will follow through on it. Maybe a third or 2.5. That'd be Robbie, Trevor, and possibly Tom Roberts. Other than that, anybody else?
I don't see Tom calling anybody out.
Yeah, I don't see Tom doing it, but I would say definitely
ready to fight.
Trevor and Robbie, if they say they're gonna call you out, then it's probably gonna end.
Definitely see Robbie calling a person out. I don't know. I mean, I can't see Trevor calling somebody out, but I think Trevor will be like, somebody say you want to fight.
Somebody say, "Hey, I want to fight Trevor." He'd be
like, it's done. Let's go.
All right.
I think Trevor looking at it like, you know what? Yeah, I'll fight this dude.
I'll go ahead and win this fight.
I've been wanting to punch him in the face for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you can't call somebody out and then throw all this other stuff behind it. Like, you just gotta, once you say it,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Especially if somebody who's been looking and saying, like, I'm looking for a fight.
Right.
I'm looking for a fight, and then somebody I'll fight you.
Listen,
okay.
Like, well, wait, let's do it. Where, how do we sign? What's going on the line?
Yeah, that's a little.
But you know, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it now because wait.
Yeah, let this be a learning lesson. If you,
but what's the lesson?
You put your gun out. You better. Never mind.
Don't pull the thing out unless you plan it.
Don't look. If you're gonna say it, back it up. Simple as that.
There has to be some extenuating circumstances to get out of that one.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
And then, yeah, absolutely. And Jeff was like, and then the issue was really them asking for more.
What was more they were asking for?
More money and compensation for the 14-day quarantine and all that.
We're quarantined for 14 days, so we need some more money to do. It's like, dude.
You know, Jeremy he just posted something about that today. He said something about fighters asking for money but can't win past first or third or fourth place or something like that.
In the division. In
the division, yeah. So here you have a guy that we don't even know who the kid is. And they're like, well, if we do it, we need to be compensated for our 14 days that we're going to. You called me out. Like, you made that decision.
The thing is, you literally put a target on your back.
Right, because now every time people are going to see you, they're going to be like, hey, wasn't that kid? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys think it's that serious?
After what I saw at the AKAs, yes.
Right. 16-17 division? Nah.
After what I saw at the AKAs, yes.
Not playing.
Yeah, that was different. Like, that was
the 3 of them fighting each other in that division was crazy.
Oh, so this dude did fight?
No. I'm just talking about with the other 16, 17-year-olds that fought.
Yeah.
Between
Alex Tyson and on the internet,
bro.
Tyson and Jason Latona. It was just intense fights. Like, where they're talking to each other, cussing each other out in the ring. Parents are just getting hyped.
Oh, man, it was getting hot.
Friends it was nuts.
Is this on YouTube? I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
It's somewhere. I don't think they highlighted that fight, but it's somewhere. It's if you go to AKA streams, you got to search for it, but it's in there. Yeah, exactly. You ain't gonna do all that, but yeah, it's there.
I'll take your word for it.
Listen, we were there live and in person. It was
I was sitting there because I was literally sitting there, and I was just sitting there, and one person walked up to one of the fighters and was like, kick his blankety blank. I was just sitting there like, oh, all right, this is real. They about to go at it, and it was just, all right, here we go. So, but yeah, all right, let's get back to Virtual Fight Tour. So
second fight,
third fight. Darren and Romani.
But yeah, we didn't even because we didn't even get into this fight.
We didn't get into it.
Romani looked good in battle. Like that's his first time seeing him. Los, you up north? You ever seen Romani before? No, I've seen him once or twice as a junior, but this was my first time really taking note. And he was standing across the ring from us, a team fight, first fight. So I wasn't really trying to watch him. But next open weight, and then next day I watched him. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, he's not a bad fighter. It's gonna be interesting to see him fight Darren.
Right, Darren's got the same size. You know, they're about maybe Darren maybe a little bit taller. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. it's just going to be an interesting fight. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they have fought each other before.
Yes.
I
would be willing to bet they have.
Yeah, I'll do my research to see if I can find something to see if I can
jump into adults.
Educated guesses on that fight. But all right, let's go to Java and Yaska.
Yeah, man. Okay.
It's gonna be some hard hitting in that fight.
Listen, there's gonna be some high in this fight.
He said high
Yeah, man.
Yaska finna throw a jump spin back kick. Java finna throw a hard reverse punch. Like, man, there we gonna go. That's what you got, Los? That's
Oh, you know I'm gonna go with my man Java all day, every day. The other guy, I think I watched some stuff on him. He's got a decent leg, but I think Java be able to smother his leg, and he won't really be able to do much. It didn't seem like he had any hands at all. So if you don't have any hands to back your leg, you're gonna be a difficult fight, especially in like a cage or a smaller setting type that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna have a difficult time. I think Java will be able to, as long as Java don't get kicked. Java sometimes get hit with kicks sometimes too, not understanding his distance and range, especially if a guy can change up his
I was
kick.
gonna say,
like, I mean, if he could have like that little flick inside, make Java bite a little bit, and then flip over to the outside, then he could probably catch him with a couple of twos and things like that. But
all right,
and Java can't allow himself to start spinning. Sometimes he gets himself spinning. He's got to keep that straight line angle movement. The straight line attack is gonna shut this guy down.
All right,
Trav.
Nice breakdown. I ain't got nothing.
I do like that. You ain't got nothing. Okay.
I ain't got nothing.
I'm in the same boat with Dulos. I think the tricky part is he doesn't have the same leg as like a Jason, so he's not going to have that leg like that. So it's going to be that little flick, that one or two, that upset down. That he's got a different style. He does have a bit of a little body punch that comes off of it. It's typically on the defensive range, but yeah, I see Java doing well in this fight. I don't think it'll be a blowout, but I do think Java will probably be up 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
But
it's 2 2-minute rounds or 3 2-minute rounds.
I don't know what theirs is. It's been all the other fights have been 3 2-minute rounds, so I wouldn't think that they would change it for any reason.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So then my thing is, if the guy is a kicker for 3 minutes, 3 2-minute rounds, and then probably kicking at the velocity he may try to kick, he will tire himself out if he goes out just kicking as being his strongest attribute. Right.
Oh no, yeah. That 3 rounds. We watched it.
3 rounds is 3 rounds, player.
3 rounds is 3 rounds. We watched it on the last one.
Yeah. All right. Move on to the next fight. Anthony Merricks versus Chris Walker 2.0.
Chris Walker 2.0.
He said this last week after me and Brandon Ballou.
Yeah. So how are we seeing this one come out? Do you think Anthony,
as I say in most things, it depends, because it depends on which Brandon shows up and it depends on what Ant shows up. I think most importantly, it depends on which Ant shows up.
Yes.
And depends on which Ant stays in each round.
Yes.
Because that's the tick, I think, is the consistency part.
Yep.
So if Ant shows up light on his feet, moving his angles, then set when he wants to take off and to get you to settle and move around, I think Ant does well in this fight.
He should.
If Ant gets real heavy and settles and sits and waits, I see Brandon taking off and getting ahead, especially with the first move scores. So again, I think it depends. Especially just having fought Brandon, and I haven't fought Ant in a long time. So, but, and we talk about it all the time with Ant, and it's hot and cold and different rounds with different fighters. And
all right. Some reason I see that it coming out this way. First round comes out, right? Mm-hmm. Brandon gets off on Ant and gets up on him probably about 4 points.
Okay.
For some reason, Anthony's not on his game. Second round, Ant locks in a little bit and comes back, and he's on fire. That third round is where I'm confused about what might actually happen, depending if Anthony spent too much energy in the second round. How is he fighting that third round? And what adjustments is Brandon making because of Anthony's footworks?
Right.
In that third round. That's just how I see this fight coming out. Like I don't see it. I'm not gonna say I don't see it going the other way. That's just the way I see this fight going. Like Brandon's gonna come out anxious, wanting to prove something. Anthony's gonna take his time, but Anthony's gonna end up making mistakes, and it's that inconsistency part. You're caught. You might be trying to do too much, and he ends up getting caught. And then Anthony figures it out to close the gap to start catching Brandon in the second round. In the third round, I'm just not sure what happens.
Okay. No. I was waiting for Los to chime in because I'm not gonna. I can see that's kind of where I was saying with the first to score. I mean, I can see either that or I think Ant's going to get busy in the first round and then kind of maybe lull out in the second round and then either try to have to pick it back up in the third, or he's coasting long enough that he can move.
Chris, you just predicted the fight. You just predicted exactly what's going to happen. Again, all the years I've watched Ant fight, he's always a very active first minute fighter, right? I've seen him have like big leads and watch those leads just kind of evaporate on him, right? He gets out, he gets going, and then what happens when his lead starts to evaporate, he starts going harder, and then he gets caught because he's trying to make up that space or that gap that he kind of gave up. He started out hot, he got caught in the space, and now he's trying to catch up. So he's getting caught trying to catch up, right? I don't even know nothing about this Brandon kid, but I just I've always been a very I admire Ant because I watched him actually like get busy. Yeah. And I've also seen him sometimes where it's like it just wasn't clicking. It wasn't clicking. Like he had it, and then so I feel in this situation, it's 3 2-minute rounds. I don't know nothing about the Brandon kid. I'm just gonna go off of my relationship, my time of watching Ant. I see Ant getting busy in the first round. Up by like 4 or 5 points. The dude Brandon just kind of like trying to figure it out. Second round, Brandon starts closing the gap. Third round, Ant tries to open up that gap again, but he gets caught coming in, and Brandon starts kind of open up that space. So now Ant's my man, but we're just speaking honestly. That's where I see Ant possibly losing this fight is in that third round, because in that third round he's going to be trying to possibly get back the stuff that he gave away, and that's where he's going to get caught.
And my reasoning for saying that is, like I said, I know Ant as well. He's a fast and busy starter. And then watching Brandon fight this weekend or last weekend at the battle, like he had a bunch of fights, so I don't see him getting tired. I see him making more of the adjustments and pushing harder as the rounds progress. And I don't know how Ant's training regimen is. I don't know I'm sure he's under Jesse, so he's got to be doing a bunch. But you know what I mean? What I've seen, and we'll see.
Yeah, Ant definitely can get busy. He definitely will.
Yeah, and if Ant stays on all 3 rounds, I think it's a hard fight.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
That is that's almost like I can't see Ant staying on for all 3 rounds.
That's what I'm saying. I see him
inconsistent in his rounds in period. So, but at some point he's gonna run off some points on you. Like absolutely, he's gonna run off some points on you.
That's the craziest thing, because that's like when you watch it, you look in amaze, like, dude, did he just score 6 in a row? Right? But he gave up 3. He was already down by, by whatever. Yep. And now he lost by like 1.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And so he's
after going on a 6-0 run.
Yeah.
It's like it's mind-boggling sometimes with him. So that's where the in our analysis of this fight, the consistency is that Anthony is inconsistent. Like no matter what, if you want to look at him getting off first or if he
gets off second, holds off, bops off. But yeah,
he's an inconsistent fighter, and I have.
Now let me ask you a question. Do you think that it is obviously it's not the stable that he comes from? Do you think that it's a mental thing, or do you think it's a fatigue thing?
I think it's 100% mental. I've seen him not be tired.
I was going to say I've seen him seventh fight in and just moving and going. When he decides,
you know what, I think
makes that shift.
I think part of it is that he can do so much that he's thinking too much and he keeps getting caught. And then once he stops thinking, he'll get off on you. Like he just stops thinking like I gotta go, I gotta fight. And then once
I feel he had an amazing opportunity to be like one of those heavyweights.
Yes.
Like, I mean, obviously Ross was there, like, and he had to battle Ross, but all of us heavyweights back then had people we had to kind of battle, and get with, right? But I feel like he always had like that. It was just like a little piece that was missing for him to actually take that next level of the heavyweight. I'm talking heavyweight. I'm not talking about middleweight, like heavyweight. I'm talking about like the actual heavyweight,
right?
And being that heavyweight that when you see them, it's like, all right, I know I got to battle
win
right
that
here.
Yeah,
or not just that, or you just know you're going like you.
Oh man, it's gonna be a problem today.
Yeah. And I feel like like our generation when you came up, like you knew like when you have people in your division, like all right, this is gonna be that one. Like I feel like I would have loved to have seen him have that type of presence when he was in the ring, or that command, that type of emotion that someone got when they had to face him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Not like I could probably I can get by him.
All right, let's get to the main event.
All right,
Jack Felton versus Bailey Murphy.
Go ahead, Trav. Start us off.
Why y'all want me to start this off?
Because you always directing traffic, so I just go ahead and threw it right in your face first. Because
look,
what happened? We already know what it is. So
I know. We've had this conversation off air a few times. And I'm sitting here thinking about this fight because when you break it down, Bailey fights a very similar style to Ray in the sense of him baiting you in and getting and closing. You could tell he looked up to Ray. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he was looking at Trevor or somebody else or Jotty or anybody else. You can tell he's patterned his fight style is very similar to Ray, right?
Okay.
Thing is, Jack was brought up under Ray. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's his guy. That's his teammate. That's his mentor, whatever you want to call it. He's been there. Like he
was like Ray's like little dude. Like way back in the day.
Right. Way back
Team Hard style. These two like in videos doing stuff together way back.
So Jack knows that style very well.
Mm-hmm.
So if this was Jack of 3 years ago, even just 3 years ago, I would have been like, Jack's winning this fight easy. I don't know. I don't know if it is as close as as a landslide as you guys thought it might be or think it might be.
I don't think anyone said it was a landslide. I never said it was a landslide.
Because when I was trying to describe it, y'all were like, "Nah, Jack go down." I'm like, "All right, it's not."
It was no. It's not. It's not. Man, I mean,
better put some respect on his name.
I put respect on his name. I love that kid. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's a talented. Right, but listen, but listen, Jack Felton's something different.
He is.
So he is. I mean, and that's kind of what I don't know.
My thing is,
your breakdown was
point. The torch is always passed. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm just saying, based off of what happened at the Irish Open earlier this year, And for me, when I looked at, I know you saw it because he got caught, but he didn't get that kick or whatever, and then Jack tried to rush it, and then he got caught, and and the momentum shifted.
So yeah,
it's not saying that can't happen in this fight.
But listen, we're talking about they both fought the same fighter on the same weekend, and it was drastically different outcomes.
Styles make fights, man.
Understandable.
Styles make fights.
Styles do 100% make fights. When you have someone who's longer who takes off versus someone who's nowhere near as long trying to do the same takeoffs.
True.
So, I mean, and you have to look at it all the way around. And that's kind of, and if I base nothing off of anything else, if I don't base it off of me knowing Jack for years and fighting him and knowing anything else, just by what I saw at the Irish Open, the two of them fought the same fighter. Jack fought him twice. And there were drastically different outcomes. 1 point, I think it was 1 point or 2 points in the division. And then it was what, 2 or 3
All right.
in the final?
How about this? 2 of them fought the same fighter at the Diamond Nationals last year.
Yes. And 1-1.
1-1.
A very,
you can't go based off of that. That's what I'm saying. You can't go based off of them having that same fighter. You can only go based off of what you could think of that particular match between those two and those two styles.
And that's what okay, so a little bit jittery versus a smooth style, but it's still a takeoff. It's still an at-range takeoff. It's still a bait to pull you in, to reshuffle your footwork and to catch you either on the drop or on the lift, on the bounce, correct?
Yep.
So it's the same. Per se, slight differences. Bailey, I don't think has the same fadeaway with the length that Elijah has. But I mean, that takeoff and in that space is very similar. Is Bailey as long as Elijah?
No, definitely not.
So in just in looking at that stylistically, if Elijah's barely getting there, Bailey, who's not as long, what would make me think that Bailey would get there better than Elijah would, or just as good as Elijah would?
You may not.
And a lot of the time it's a blitz versus a sidekick,
but
and
it's also
set in with the body punch.
It's different. They may have the same style, but the rhythm of the person is different. So it's a little bit different. Like that's what I'm saying. Like when I look at it, I'm not saying that it's an easy win for Bailey. I'm not saying that at all.
I'm not saying it's an easy win for Jack.
I'm not saying it's an easy win for Jack. I'm just saying when I look at this fight, this is an interesting fight from the standpoint of I don't know if Jack is done. To me, this is more about Jack than it is. And I'm going to say that this way. This weekend, Serena Williams just played at the U.S. Open. She got to the semifinals, right?
Mom versus mom, yeah.
Yep, she got to the semifinals.
Okay.
If you watch her from the last 3 years, she's been getting to the finals or the semifinals and losing.
Right.
Because she gets to that last part, and that last little bit of your greatness is starting to fade away. I don't know if Jack has entered that level yet, where he can get to that final level and he just may actually be just a little bit short. I don't know if he's there yet. Well, that's what I'm worried about. That's why I'm just watching this fight, because I want to see where he is in relation to who is the welterweight fighter of this generation right now. So I kind of want to see it that way. A great fighter is he starting to slip just that little bit where it's tough for him to get that one. If it was a 1-round fight, I would like, it's not, I wouldn't even care, because it wouldn't matter if it was a 1-round fight, because to me, a 1-round fight, anybody can win. Anybody can be hot that 1 round. In 3 rounds, the better fighter wins, in my estimation. And in this particular fight, this is going to tell us who the better fighter is, regardless of whoever wins. This tells me who I think is the better fighter. In this one, I'm saying it is, if Jack wins this, he's still there. He's still at that man level.
What if he loses?
If he doesn't, then he may be just a little bit a slip. Just a little bit. And that, I'm not saying that if he goes to a tournament, he can't win the tournament. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if he gets to that tournament, he could still beat Bailey. It wouldn't be like you can't beat Bailey at another tournament, at the Diamonds or wherever tournament, because it's 1 round. It's a completely different thing. But a 3-round fight, whoever wins in that 3 rounds, I think is the better fighter. Now you guys can talk and tell me I'm wrong. And like, yo, you tripping, Trav. Bailey's ain't on the level of Jack. You can go ahead and say all that. Y'all can tell me that. I'm just saying, I'm interested in seeing if Jack is at that level, if he's still there.
What if he is?
Then he is.
That's it.
That's it. There's no big grand slam. I'm like, yo, Jack's still there. He's still the man.
But if he's not, there's all this other stuff that comes with him not being there.
Yes. You
must not like LeBron.
If Jack wins, then I'll be looking at Bailey like
he's just like, I was wrong.
Jack's man. All right, my bad. If Jack wins, I'll be looking at Bailey
like the Max Kellerman in our show.
More to go. He still has a lot more to gain.
But I don't think that's not fair to Bailey though, to say he has a lot more to go, because again, you're talking about years of experience to still needing experience.
Yeah,
like Bailey's at that level. No one's saying that he's not at that level. No. But Jack just has way more experience, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like that experience is just different. Like it's just different. Now, watching Bailey over the weekend, like I said, I was really impressed with his speed and just how his timing, like how you said, like he looks like Ray, to a certain degree. But I don't see him beating Jack. Here's how he would beat Jack. Let me tell you how he's gonna beat Jack. Here's how I would say he would beat Jack. If Jack goes in the fight to try to beat him up, like try to beat Bailey up, like I'm Jack Felton, I'm about to beat you up, Jack probably won't win that fight. If Jack goes in as the Iceman and goes in and strategically, shuts him down with what he's trying to do and make him do something else, Jack will win the fight. Jack won't lose. If Jack goes, I'm telling you, if Jack goes and he just tries to beat him up, that's gonna be different, because he's gonna get hit with stuff that he shouldn't be getting hit with. He's gonna be overly trying to push something.
Settle to wait for something not gonna. No, 100%.
Yeah. So that's that. Fair. Okay, Travis. I gave you the scenario as to how I see Jack possibly losing this fight, and the only way I see Jack losing this fight.
I'm with Mikey P on this one.
Which one you want me to pull up?
Both. It don't matter. One.
He's looking good. Yeah.
Speak on it, Mike B.
And then listen,
speed with distance and ring movement.
And to be honest with you, man, to be able to break down the speed and the distance and the size of the fighters that he's been breaking down over the years, you want to talk about ring control and management?
Yeah, this dude.
Come on. Listen. I'm not even. But it is what it is. Like I said, I think Bailey's a phenomenal fighter. But when I look at which tools are super successful and how they stack up, I think there's more tools in Jack's tool bag for this. Bailey is young. He's fast. He's athletic. He's got good timing. All of that. All of that is 100% true. But Mike said it. How do you stop that? How do you counteract that? And I don't even think he has to be as fast. Or whatever you want to say. Yeah.
No, Jack doesn't have to be.
I have a step in that sidekick. I have a step in that sidekick is absolutely ridiculous.
And that's the point. Like, Jack doesn't have to be the Jack of 3 years ago. Jack just has to be the wise Jack that he has become. The wiser Jack, because he was already a wise and a smart fighter to begin with. Now he's even a smarter and wiser fighter. And again, there's a difference in the length and the size from when he fights someone like Elijah, or even Raymond, like Raymond, or even when he fights Avery. Like, there's a difference in the range, in the distance. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, I think that does play into it. Like I said, the only way I see Jack not doing what Jack does, if Jack just tries to beat him up.
Also plays into Jack's comfortability in being in a closer distance. You know what I mean? Like, because he feels that when you step in the ring with somebody who's your same height, you don't feel like you have to be further away to negate that.
Sometimes, yeah, you do allow you allow crowding. No, you're right, because sometimes you do. You're like, oh man, I didn't think he could take off from that far. No.
Yeah. Boom, right there. You know what I mean? But he may not feel like he can step in on somebody like Avery or Elijah, because they're taller and they're bigger.
Right.
So he may feel the distance. So those things play in part that he could make a mistake there. I'm not saying y'all like, yo, I can't see him losing nothing. I'm like, no,
nah, that's not it, man. I'm just, it's funny because like I'm sitting here and I'm
playing in all scenarios. Yeah.
Listen, I watch Bailey fight, but then I sit back and I watch all the times that I watch Jack fight, and it's just different. Like it looks different. It feels different. It's just different. And I don't listen. No respect to the young man. I no disrespect to the young man. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. As far as you saying, passing the torch, whatever, the torch should be passed when it's passed when that time comes. And if he beats Jack, I don't feel it takes anything away from Jack because I don't know. I just sit and I look at how many times I watched it. Chris, same thing. You probably watched him fight. Like we talk about up close watching him fight, like watching
and everybody
from the sidelines and just kind of
like we're talking Robbie Hughes, Mike Page, Zolt, Raymond, like who anybody you really want to name, Ross, Avery, like Trevor, win. Like I've seen him beat everybody on that list that I've named. You know what I mean? So it's like it's man, I don't know. It's a rough road. But like I said, I mean, not that Bailey can't do it. I count no one out of any fight. But if I'm a betting man, hey, it's Captain Jack. Just
Sorry, Trav. You ain't gonna twist our.
Nah, it's not. You're not.
No, I get what you're saying.
I want y'all to say exactly what y'all feel is going to happen.
What you're saying is legit too, as far as how you just like is that timing going to be a little bit off? Is Bailey going to be a little quicker because Jack is a little bit older? This, that, and the other. And that's all legitimate stuff to kind of say. I mean, if you're gonna,
right, absolutely. I think honestly, Mike P wrote it out well.
I'm not coming out here talking out the side of my neck now.
It's true. You're not. You're just saying that there are possibilities, and you think it's going to be closer than I think a lot of people think it's going to be. Most people
I don't think it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be a blowout. No. I just
you only got to win by one, right? After 3 rounds, person with a 1 point wins, or is it 2?
You have to. Yes. You have to win by one.
One.
Or is it 2?
Right. Yeah, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
No. Did Kevin and Ryan, didn't they have to go win by 2?
No,
they had another 2 minutes. I mean, another minute or first point win. So yeah, it's definitely 1 point.
Okay.
So you only got to win by one.
Win by one.
So in theory, after 3 rounds, Jack only got to win by 1.
Yeah.
Does that take away? Does that still give him his in your eyes his he's still that guy, or is it because he only won by 1 that the gap is closing, or the guy it could have went another way?
No, not at all. You win. That puts it into a perspective of mental, fortitude. You know what I mean? Like if the fight is so close that you guys are going back and forth, the person who has the stronger mental game will pull out. You know what I mean? Like they pull that out. That's just showing that I'm mentally I'm stronger than you. I'm better than you because of my mental game, but not because I'm just a better fighter. But no, you were on my level, and I'm better than you because I thought better. I strategized better. I made the right adjustments more.
So where do you think all that comes from?
What do you mean? We talking about experience?
That's where it all comes from. This is experience.
100%. But at the end of the day, okay, Serena has more experience than all the women that were playing this weekend, but she didn't win.
Yeah, but Serena
at certain point,
all weekend. You talking about a 3 like.
Right, we're talking about the length of a weekend versus 3 2-minute rounds.
Regardless,
we're talking 6.
Okay. Wait. The fight, the game, the tennis match she lost. It was 3 games. It wasn't the whole weekend. It was the 3 games. She lost that weekend.
But how many other games did she play that whole weekend? Do you think she would have lost to that girl if they would have both come in and played those 3 games? That's the difference that we're talking about. We're talking about competing in a tournament all day and then coming.
I honestly do not know if she.
He tried to bring in the 3 games, but then when you bring out like you fought a tournament all day and then lost the last 3 games at that semifinal. But you've been playing 6 games here, 3 games here, 6 games here.
That's tennis. That's not fighting. We could play that game too. But
I'm just talking about in rounds. I'm just throwing.
Yeah, I'm saying in 3 rounds. Right. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of, and it's like 2 weeks. Just so y'all know, it's about 2 weeks to go through that. But I'm just saying that when it comes down to it, the better fighter wins in a series.
Pull up Mike's comment. I know that's gonna take up like 3/4 of the screen.
What?
Mikey P's comment. He said, all right, I'll just read it. He said, Jack's got the decks stacked against him. Oh, you got it. There you go.
Can't see low.
I told you it was going to be 3/4 of the screen. He's like, sticks to the game, but he's getting to strategize for one fighter for those 3 rounds rather than having to try to make on the adjustment flies. As many on the adjustment flies as having to go from Trent or one of the Blake Spence to Justin to James, then into Bailey. You get one set strategy. It does put a little bit different.
It does. That's why when it comes to this type of fight, the better fighter wins. To me, it sets up who the better fighter is.
Ben Stewart said she gassed early. She's 40 and 200 pounds. Anyone can win a lose any day. Said about Serena, you think.
Next.
Boy, look at
Yes, that's what it is. That's when you get older, you start to get gas a little bit longer. And if you look at that Irish Open, Jack did not look the same in that second round. He just didn't. And that's where I'm like, this is 3 rounds. It's what it is. We're gonna see.
Yep.
Next Saturday.
I trained with him on Saturday. Listen, that was rough. And he was looking at me like, bro, you all right?
Sure.
Well, they're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
My legs hurt.
But we're gonna see you next Saturday, September 26th, 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure y'all get your tickets early.
Please.
FightTour2.myuventex.com. We got anything else?
I thought you didn't want to. We
saw Ray fight at 40.
We did. It would kick one high enough.
Yeah.
But dang it, that wasn't a good one.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen, but Jay Bree's not 40 though. Say something. He younger than me. I said, but Jay's not 40. He's not even close.
34?
34, I think.
34? Yeah.
So that's still technically peak prime performance. He's still peak prime performance. So I mean, it depends on
He's still there, but at 34, that's never mind.
Right.
In a quarantine.
Travis just want all of us to get over. He like, man, could everybody that fought in our era just get up here with us?
I know he just want everybody. He just want everybody to be like sit behind him.
Everybody else I need
all of y'all. If I ever fought you, you're up here with me. You're sitting in the back seat. Let's go.
Virtual Fight 3, y'all. Oh man, we didn't get to Virtual Fight 3. We get to that next week. Anything else we want to talk about? No, we
I thought we was talking. I thought we was going to inside scoop time. I thought we was going all the way.
Nah, man, I still got them 3 to talk about. I got not doing that. I'm trying to keep us under 90 minutes, and we just went over. All right, it is what it is. We will see you guys next week. And remember,
we'll stomp them in the nuts. I'ma stomp them in the nuts. We'll stomp them in the nuts. We'll stomp them in the nuts. We'll stomp them in the nuts.
He said, take Ray's advice.
It's messed up, man.
We'll stomp them in the nuts.